networking. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to get clients to come to you. So if you're anything like me, working with, trying to work directly with clients or build up your business online or directly, it gets a little bit exhausting trying to do research, build up a list, do constant outreach, cold calling and cold emailing. And so um, we were doing that for a while, but we decided to change that up. And in this video, I'm going to break down what we're calling the inbound client formula. And that's what we've used to get clients to come to us instead of us trying to do outbound marketing. Um, if you know me, and typically when I do these, I don't really like to share presentations, but I'm going to pull up something and share. So this is it today. So how to get clients to come to you and why you should. Um, so the video is basically going to go over a couple of pieces. One, I'm going to cover the power of connection, creating a connection, um, transitioning from doing outbound marketing to inbound marketing, how you can make inbound marketing work for you. And then I'm going to cover a quick case study of how to get clients to come to you, basically sharing how we did it to get to our first major milestone where we were getting the business off the ground. All right, cool. So, power of creating connections. So, in general, when you look at the way that most people do um, their online marketing, what actually ends up happening is that people take one piece of it and they focus on it in a huge way. So, if you take, for example, people that are just posting on social media or people that just tweet and so on, but there's actually a way and a process that you can follow in order to create a connection with a person when they first meet you. So that's what this covers. So if you think about it, most people that are online, if they're looking for a solution and not just looking for, say, entertainment, right? They have their own mission, they have their own goal, they have their own problems that they're trying to deal with. So, essentially they're on a mission to get something solved, to get some solution for themselves. But typically, if someone is going out and seeking an answer instead of just doing the thing that they need to be doing to get the result that they want, then it means that they have some kind of obstacle that's blocking them from getting there. And in order for them to get over that obstacle, they need some kind of bridge. And so one of the best ways to create that connection is to be the bridge. And typically, you can create a bridge by being the person that gives them information, education, a hint, a tip, a guide, a training, whatever it is. But you need somewhere to bridge them from where they are, to where they want to be and the goal that they have so that they can get over that obstacle. So that's really like one of the fastest ways to create a connection, because when you look at it, the whole game is to win hearts and minds. And so hearts in the social media sense of you want people to like what you're putting out there, you want people to like the content that you're putting out there, but minds in the sense that you want to create a first impression, a lasting impression that says, you know what, in that person's head that just saw your content, they now see you as somebody that knows something that helps them. And people like people that help them. People like people that give them information that's useful. Right. So, once you understand that the mindset, you really need to think about then how do we switch from this outbound marketing approach that a lot of businesses that work with clients are still doing this, right? This is you're going out doing the networking, you're going out doing the outreach, you're emailing people on LinkedIn, you're sending out cold emails. Worst case, even you're buying a list of leads and you're, going through that list and contacting them. But, switching from outbound to inbound means like shifting from outreach, right? So instead of you like reaching out to individuals trying to get them to engage with you in your business, right? you change it to getting like way more people coming to you. So they know where you are, they know your location, they know where you are on the map. And from all directions, once they know that, they come to you. And that's the step. So that's the better way. If you look at it, kind of like have this phone here that looks like a smiley face where you have calls going out versus calls coming in. But you really want to get to a point where you're not doing cold calls, you're not sending cold emails, and you're not actually doing networking for the purpose of one to one client acquisition, right? Instead, what you want to do is build trust and then get them to come to you. So, how do you make inbound marketing work for you, really? The thing is, if you've been trying to market online for any decent amount of time, right? You've probably posted on Facebook, you've probably posted in groups, maybe you posted on LinkedIn, maybe you tweet, maybe you're on Instagram, and so on all those places. The thing that you eventually start to notice is that a lot of people seem to be doing one of these things, which is why people gravitate to it and start to do these things too. But there's more to it and there's a system to it. And so this is what I'm going to cover here, is how you can make that work for you. So everything online starts with an audience, right? You got you need to have your people, your niche, your market, your specific people that you're targeting. And it's not everybody. It's never everybody, right? It's going to be someone at a specific level with a specific problem, with a specific goal. And once you're able to talk to those people become your audience, your core group that you're focused on. And once you know those people and you know their pain points, what they want, what they need, then you're able to, really talk to them. So it's like in this, video here where I'm kind of like just talking to you guys, I'm not really focused on calling out the specific people, but as far as like, Ghost Founder and the inbound client formula itself and how we offer that, it's for people that already like have their business running. So I would, you would call that out and you put this out in front of those kind of people. But once you have that audience and you have that nailed down, then you need your sales process, right? You need a way to say like when these people meet you and it's your type of person, you need a consistent, repeatable step-by-step sequence that takes them from the first point where they make contact with you to the point where they consume your content or get a training from you or hop on a call with you to a point where money changes hands and um, services or values delivered to that other person. And that has to be a mapped out process that should be fairly predictable. When someone enters here, they will come out here. And the only thing that should vary then is, how well is it converting? So if it's a three-step process like this diagram shows here, if you go from step one to step two, maybe you lose 50% of your people. And then from step two to step three, you might lose another 50%. Then, like, for 10 people that come in, five will make it to step two. And out of those five, two and a half or two or three will make it to the last point. So you now know that you need to get 10 people in to make two sales, like that kind of thing. That's what your sales process is. And you need to have that mapped out once you know who your audience is. Now, in order to do this mathematical approach of taking a specific amount of people at the front and a specific amount of people coming out at the end of it, you have to know what your numbers are, right? So if you're spending time, because you can spend time and you can spend money. If you're spending time trying to get your audience, then how much time are you spending? How much is your time worth? Right? If you're spending money, maybe you're buying ads or you're hiring people to write articles, whatever it is, then what is that costing you? And how many people need to flow through your process in order for you to make a sale, and how many sales do you make in order for you to get the right amount of revenue and the right amount of profits that you need for your business to keep going. So this is where you need to understand your numbers. So, excuse me, making the inbound marketing formula work for you is basically going in, nailing in your audience, the people that are more likely to go through your process successfully without drop offs because your message resonates with them, because you're basically giving them the bridge that will take them from whatever problem they have to whatever solution they want. And but you have to know what these numbers are so that you can then optimize and know that when you start people in from the beginning, this is where they need to be, and this is the amount that needs to come out in order for it to be successful at the end. So, it's all nice and well to talk in abstract terms, but let me, touch a quick case study of how we got to our first $1,000 recurring when we got Ghost Founder going. So when we first got Ghost Founder going, we thought about, how do we want to approach and get customers, and we were on Facebook, and we were on YouTube putting out videos, and we were on Twitter. And so true to our own model of not doing outbound marketing, we decided to go with the inbound approach. Now, the thing is, if you don't have a huge budget for creating lots of ads and things like that, then you need to find ways to get yourself in front of your audience in a way that will allow them to know that you have the bridge that they need in order to get to the solution that they want. So in our case, what we did was we started putting out, my business partner and I would go live on the Ghost Founder channel doing a training. It was like a training every single day. So we'd go live, do a training, take that training, chop it up, and put it on Facebook. I think we were putting it on Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and I think we probably outputted some things to podcast. So we maximized the amount of places that people could potentially go and see us. And by doing that, then, we'd post that on our Twitter feeds and so on. But that wasn't enough because we didn't really have a huge following. But instead of going out and doing outreach to individuals like, hey, check out my thing, hey, check out my thing, we started doing more or less what you call like hand to hand, where we were reaching, we were responding and retweeting to channels that, especially on Twitter, to channels that had the people that we wanted. So, there were people that already had our audiences aggregated already. So by engaging in those channels, when the people go there, they would see our stuff immediately. Oh, the other place was on LinkedIn. We also did this on LinkedIn. So by tapping into hashtags on LinkedIn, responding to threads on Twitter for accounts that were big enough that had the audience we already wanted, we basically put ourselves as a profile into the line of sight of our audience without having to do any like one to one. And when those people saw our responses and they're like, oh, you know what? I like these guys. I like what they're talking about. Then they would check out our profile, and the first thing they would see is our pinned video teaching the exact thing that would be a bridge for them to get from the problem that they had to the solution that they wanted. And it was less than 30 days from the first time we started rolling out that strategy when we first rolled out the business, where we got from basically creating the educational content, breaking it up into pieces and posting it in places where our audience would be, and having someone actually like reach out to us on Twitter and closing that person for a $1,000 a month offer. And that guy ended up being our first client that we closed within the first 30 days without having to do any outbound marketing. Instead, we had people coming in inbound because he raised his hand and said, "Hey, I like what you guys are doing. Let me find out more." We got on a call with him. He liked what we said. We closed, and that's how the business got going. So that's the case study of how the inbound marketing process works. Now, if you're not bootstrapping your business, or if you have a better budget to work with, then this works just as well with taking your training and basically doing Facebook ads or any other platform doing ads, and then having the people from the ad come in through your sales process, and you can do the exact same thing. Now, there's a lot more to it, and I'll cover it more in other videos, but I think I just wanted to get over the hump of not sharing, what was working for the business, and getting back to getting up here and sharing something every so often, so you know you can see what's working. But if you do want to find out more about the inbound formula, then you can go check it out at inboundclientformula.com/learn. And as far as me and what I'm doing, I'm still on IG and Facebook. I'm not on it as much as I would like to be. But you on Twitter as well. But on any of those platforms, you'll find me at jpadamsonline.com. But I hope you guys are well, and I hope this was helpful. Definitely give me some feedback on the type of stuff you'd like to hear. I found that once I got the business going and everything else, like one of the things that I see that most people were struggling with was not just how to set up their marketing system, but just understanding, what are the different options that are available to them, how this whole marketing thing connects together so that you can get clients and you can get customers to your business. So I figured I'd start sharing more on that, on all the stuff that I'm learning. So hope you all are well. Happy New Year, and chat with you all soon. Later, later.